So good evening. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Welcome to another Winners Academy session. It is great to see so many of you here investing in your growth as speaker and leaders. These Winner Academy sessions exist for one purpose: to help our contestants level up, but also to help every Toastmasters in our district become more confident, more impactful on stage. Today is a special day. As you can see, we have the privilege of learning from someone who reached the very top of the Toastmasters world. But before that, please allow me to introduce our host, Jessica. Jessica is a global speaker. She spoke on almost every continent and was our district champion in 2022. So she brings a tremendous amount of experience to this edition of Winners Academy. And I'm glad she invited today's guest to be with us. So it's my pleasure to officially open this session and hand the floor over to Jessica, who will introduce our distinguished guest. Jessica, the floor is yours.
When I was competing against Isidro years ago, it was tough. Those are tough years. Thank God he won and he stopped competing. I went on Facebook and I said to the official Facebook group, I said, can someone help me with my speech? I'm competing against Isidro. And Luisa, who didn't know who I was a total nobody living in Barcelona, much younger than I am now, with so much less experience. And she helped me edit my speech, just pure generosity. A couple other guys as well did that, but I obviously felt something for this Luisa, who won in 2019 second at the World Championship of Public Speaking. And she vowed to come back and be the first Hispanic to win the World Championship. And that gave me goosebumps. And when we were there last year, how many of you were in the room last year when she won? Isidro was there. Okay, let me check the room. Who else is in the room with me? Is Norberto here? Yeah, there's a couple of us from the Spain, Portugal who were there, about 12 of us. Yeah, Alba. And when we saw the lineup of all the men that had won in the last 70 years, right? There's like 6 women. And then Luisa does this speech and says, I got to heaven and I talked to my God. You're like, and I say my God, because I don't want to offend your religion. I want to offend all of your religions. I didn't quote it 100% perfectly because you said it 1,000 times better. The whole audience laughs, except for the very serious religious people. But it doesn't matter, she still won. And you are my hero because you show what it takes to use humor, to take vulnerability, to not take yourself too seriously, this humility. Luisa, I am really grateful you came to our Spain and Portugal and Morocco and Northern Africa conference last year. So you have fans in the room here. And Luisa's history is beautiful. She started talking at speeches when her mother, who was a saleswoman, was it Avon?
Avon.
Avon. So Luisa at like 11 had to start speaking in front of women because her mother forced her to help with the industry. And her mother became a great leader in the network marketing, community building, women's empowerment movement to help women earn their living, right? And so you've been doing this a long, long, long time and you look so young. And then you wanted to make your mom proud. This is what you write in your bio. So Luisa wanted to make her mother proud by becoming a world champion, the first Hispanic person in the world, and a woman with a disability in a minority group. And for me, and Luisa says this, if she can win, any of us can win, right? And so please, everyone, enjoy, give a big round of applause to Luisa and the 18 most important things that you have to do, not 19, the 18 most important things you have to do to write a winning speech. Thank you, Luisa.
Well, hello. Thank you again so much for the invitation to be here. I do appreciate that. I do want to start, of course, with a little bit of humor. And some of you may have already heard what happened to me when I was landing in Germany. Of course, now that I am still in a wheelchair after the accident, as some of you may know, What I have to do now is I need special help, assistance to get onto the plane, to get off the plane. I am in the wheelchair, like I said. And so now it's a routine. I get up to the lobby. They're at the airport. I talk to the lady. She says, can you walk to the plane? I said, no. Can you walk when you're inside the plane? I say, yes. And she's typing all this in. She says, okay, anytime you get off the airplane, you stay right here in the lobby and someone is going to come to pick you up. I said, okay. She goes, don't move. Stay right there. Got it. So we land in Germany. I land in Germany. I'm waiting for somebody to take me to the next part of the flight, another lobby. And this gentleman walks up and he's got a very heavy German accent, or maybe it's heavy because I'm not German. So he comes up to me and he says, yes, may I see your boarding pass? I said, boarding pass. Yes, okay. Yes, sir, here it is. He goes, okay. Luisa Montalvo? And I said, yes. He said, oh, world champ? And I said, wow, here I am in Germany, and this guy knows that I'm Toastmasters world champion? Wow. And I looked at him, I said, well, yes, how did you know? And he said, how did I know what? I said, well, then I'm a world champion. He said, no. I said, wheelchair. I said, oh, okay. That put my ego into check real quick, but I just wanted to share that with you. Just a little, I couldn't have made that up. And yeah, so now at my club, everybody, when I say, don't you know who I am? They all say, yes, you're wheelchair, not world champ. But anyway, all right, here we go. Up to the 18 steps. Of course, I can't take 3 steps, but I'm going to give you 18 steps on how to write the winning speech. Now, these steps are not just for Toastmasters. They're not just for the international contest. They're not just for writing a speech. You can use them in so many other different aspects of your life. And in case you just want to sit back and listen, if you don't want to take notes, if you're not in the position to be able to do that, I will be able to forward the 18 steps, although they've been published in quite a few places. That way you can just sit back and listen. You want to write everything down? Write everything down. You don't? I will be able to send either Isidro or Jessica a copy of the 18 steps. All right. So here we go. Number 1. Well, even before we get to number 1, you're going to have to ask yourself, why are you doing this? Are you competing because your president of your club said, hey, Luisa, you need to compete, go represent? Are you being forced to do this? Are you wanting to compete? In my instance, I was trying to make my mother proud, so I wanted to be able to compete so that she could be proud of me. She was the most eloquent speaker I've ever seen, and I've been trying to emulate her ever since. So ask yourself, why are you going for that new job? Why are you starting a new relationship? Why are you writing a speech? Why are you competing? Whatever it is, ask yourself that question, and your answer will tell you just how much time you are going to put into this project. For me, it's been 13 years, and I will let you know right off the bat, I have lost over 40 contests. So ask yourself, why are you doing this? That's going to determine how much effort you're going to put into it. So step number 1 is your speech should be relatable to your audience, or better yet, know your audience. You see, in 2019, when I made it to the final stage, I gave a speech on racism. And although it's prevalent here in the United States, there are some countries that don't experience racism. So my message was not a global message. But if you are trying to compete into the international speech contest, realize making it to the semifinals and then the finals, your audience will be global. So know your audience. One thing that you're doing that I've realized that a lot of people do, especially with the international speech contest, sometimes they think the more devastating it is, or the more heartbreaking, or whatever, that's going to win. Now, when you're giving your speech, you can take your audience with you on a ride and you can drop them to the bottom of the pit, but realize, don't leave them there. If you're going to take them down with you, that's fine, but remember to bring your audience back up so you don't leave them on a low. That was number one, know your audience. Number two, you're saying, you know what, Luisa? I mean, I have nothing to talk about. I don't have anything to write a speech about. I'm going to tell you right now that the best thing to do is you're going to go with an emotion. Well, what does that mean? Okay, so here's what I do. Whenever I'm happy, angry, sad, disappointed, whatever the emotion is, you see a global audience, we all share emotions. We may not share racism, but we share emotions. I don't care what part of the world you're in, you're going to do that. So, how do I write a speech? Where do I get my ideas? Let me share a little story with you. And unfortunately, this story is true. I realized I just moved back down home. They just built a brand new grocery store. So I'm driving to the grocery store to buy groceries. I get into the lane, I put my blinker, I'm turning, and this guy almost cuts me off. He almost hit my car. What an idiot. So I grab my phone and I have voice memo or voice record. You can grab any little instrument that you've got that records, and you're only going to give a 15, 20-second message. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I came to the store. I'm so mad. This guy almost hit me. He could have cost me my car. I'm upset. And stop. That's all you have to do. You've got an emotion recorded, right? Well, guess what? I get back and I realize, I forgot to get the most important thing, the eggs. Oh, so now I have to go back. Fine. I go back. Same thing. Guess what happens the second time? Yeah, another car almost hits me. I grab my phone again. Why? Because now I'm not upset. Now I'm furious. Another emotion. Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. Will you believe what happened? I'm doing the same thing I did, and another guy almost hits me. This is really getting upsetting. I just moved back here. Nobody here knows how to drive. What idiots. Okay. That was my true raw emotion. I get home. I start doing everything. About 2 days later, I run out of the eggs. I've got to go back to the store. I go back to the store. You know what's going to happen. It's already happened. I pull in, car almost hits me. That's it. I've had it. I go to park and I'm about to get out of the car when a gentleman knocks on my window. I said, yes. He said, ma'am, I almost hit you. I said, yes. Don't you know how to drive? He says, ma'am, you know you're in the wrong lane to turn. Oh. It was my fault. I was the idiot. I wasn't in the right lane to turn. That's why everybody was almost hitting me. Okay, now I'm embarrassed. What do? Pick up the phone. Oh my gosh. You're never going to believe what I'm going to tell you. All this time, I've been getting mad at everybody else. It's been my fault. I'm the idiot. Ugh. There you go. So now what you do is anytime you come across an emotion that you feel strongly about, something really happy could happen in your life. Grab your phone. Something really sad or emotional hits you. Grab your phone and just put these little 15, 20-second little snippets. At the end of the month, you go back, you listen to all of them, you go, humility. That's what I was taught when I realized I was in the wrong lane. Maybe I can give a speech about that. So you take all the little snippets that you had, you start writing them down, you start forming an outline. And now you have an emotion to go on, and you're going to have a true story that we'll talk about later. And here is where your speech starts to form. It can be any emotion, but guaranteed, if you go with emotion, your message can and will be global. Okay, so that was number 2. Grab your phone, voice memos. Here we go. Number 3, I have learned, and people are getting really good at it now, that the more you speak of a personal story in your speech, the better your audience is going to be able to relate to you. Do you realize that if you give a speech and don't have a personal story in it, then it's a report? All you're doing is giving us facts about something. And that's fine, but it's not going to get you a win in a contest. Why a personal story? You want your audience to be able to relate to whatever you're going through. And trust me, when you talk about something that's happened to you, for the people that it's already happened to, they're all going to be agreeing, saying, you know what? You're right. That's happened to me. For the people that's never happened to, they're going to say, wow, I didn't even know that could happen. But so see, you share that personal story, and we're all like little kids. We all want to hear a personal story. So there you go. Throw in a personal story. It doesn't have to be the most embarrassing moment, although the more you're willing to be open and honest with your audience, I believe the better response you're going to get from your audience. Number 4, another one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm sorry, that was number 3, personal story relating to the speech. Number 4 is interject appropriate humor, but not too much. And I'll tell you why. Luisa, can't I make my whole speech funny? Of course you can. But if you're in the international speech contest, you're in the wrong contest. You need to be in the humorous contest. And I'll tell you, that's kind of what happened in 2024. A gentleman got up there. It's very hard to make me laugh. I don't find too many things funny, but this guy had me rolling on the floor. I was cracking up, but then I realized his entire speech was laughing, humor, joke. And I thought, where's the meat of the speech? Where is it? So I'll tell you in a bit what happened to that and why. You can use humor, make it appropriate, and by appropriate, there's going to be a really fine line on what's going to be good and what's going to be questionable. Again, like Jessica said, one of the first lines I say is, look, I was talking to my God. I say my God because I don't want to offend some of you. I want to offend all of you. That was humor. That was also allowing me to say anything I wanted to say because I already stated, look, that's my God, not yours. So appropriate humor, yes. Go ahead and put that in, but not too much. That was number 4. Number 5, wow. I think if more people did this, it would give them a better advantage on being able to win a contest. And number 5 is have your introduction relate to your ending. Well, what do you mean, Luisa, have it relate? There's a few things here. Last year in my speech, the first thing I said was clear. And it was about people trying to revive me. The last word I say in my speech is clear. And I'm asking the audience, are we clear? You see, this gives your audience a cue. Oh, it's the end of the speech. Wow, great speech. Why? Because the introduction and the ending were both related. Now, here's something that I've noticed is also happening. You see, when you get on stage, and it happened to me at a conference last month, and I was so embarrassed because somebody evaluated me and called me out on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. Thank you for calling me out. It's what I call a false ending. Example. Let's say I'm giving a speech on dogs, which I love dogs. And I said, and the ending of the speech is going to be something like, and that's why I think everybody here should go and adopt a dog. and everybody gets ready to clap, but I'm nervous. So then I said, so when you do go out and adopt a dog, make sure you go to a shelter. And everybody's like, oh, okay, is that the, because if you go to the shelter and you can't adopt a dog, maybe you can donate or bump. Okay, how many times am I going to end the speech? Say your ending and then be quiet. I realize we get nervous sometimes and we want to keep going. No false endings. No false endings. Okay, that was it. Have your intro relate to your ending. That was number 5. Number 6, of course, my favorite. And actually, Sabi, who just won a couple of months ago, did exactly this. Number 6 is, I want to have an attention-grabbing introduction. What did I do in 2024? I wasn't even looking straight ahead. I was looking away. You couldn't see my face. I yelled, clear. Who starts a speech like that? You see, what a lot of people are doing is they're going back to the YouTube videos and watching everybody. And so they're trying to copy what they've seen. No, you need to be fresh. You need to be different. You need to be unique. And what did Sabi do when he walked out on stage? He walked out on stage. He went to kneel down. He almost kissed the ground and he said, I love you. And I went, oh my gosh, is that his mom? Is that his child? Who's he talking to? And then he says, oh, I was talking to the stage. Oh my gosh, great opening, great humor. It had me. I don't know if you realize, but if you don't have your audience in the first 30 seconds of your speech, chances are later they're like, oh, what should I eat today? You've lost them. You need to have such an attention-grabbing introduction that is going to want to make them listen. And another thing that I don't even have written down here is the title of your speech. I'm trying to think of something. Oh, okay. My example in 2019, first impressions. That was the title of my speech in 2019. Really, Luisa? You could have done better. You could have done so much better. But I was nervous. I came up with the first thing that I thought of, first impressions. But last year, my title was 37 Strangers. Wait, what? I've never heard of. How can 37 people be strangers? Now, what I did with the audience is they want to know what I'm talking about. So now I've already got them hooked. Now they want to hear my speech because the title has hooked them and it's different. So one thing you want to do is have that great title and also attention-grabbing introduction. I call it the wow effect. Wow me. Wow me. And you know what? I'm going to be real honest with you right here. If I hear one more speech start with, have you ever? Yes, yes, we have. Don't even ask us. How many people? What? No, stop. Get away from that. Everybody does that. Don't start with a question or something. Start with something that's going to wow me or wow the audience. That was number 6. Number 7, kind of in the same realm as number 6, is no bland topics. What do you mean, Luisa? What do you mean by bland topic? Okay. If I hear one more speech about leadership, I'm going to go crazy because that's what everybody's talking about now, leadership. And my speech is going to be on leadership. Are you serious? Really? Everybody's doing that. Do something different. Now, it's okay. If you're going to talk about leadership, if you have to, your first 30 seconds had better wow me, and I better want to listen to your speech because trust me, I think I know everything about leadership right now. So please, wow me, no bland topics. Number 8. This one, I love this one. Slightly push the level of uncomfortable statements. What do you mean, Luisa? Once I won district last year and I thought I might be making it to the semifinals and then the finals, I started practicing my speech. You know what everybody told me? Oh, Luisa, you mentioned God. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Okay, well, thank you. And I'll talk about it later on evaluations. When somebody evaluates you, the best thing to do is find out why they tell you what they tell you. Oh, Luisa, I didn't like your speech. Oh, really? Why not? Oh, well, I didn't like what you were wearing. Okay, that has nothing to do with the speech. But they're going to tell you they didn't like your speech. Oh, I didn't like your speech, Luisa. Oh, really? Why not? Well, when you said this and this, I didn't agree with it. Okay, now. Okay, let's talk about that. Again, it's just one person's perspective. Now, if somebody comes up and says, Luisa, I didn't like your speech. Well, why not? Well, I couldn't follow your speech because it didn't make sense, because you threw me off when you said this and this. Okay, now that evaluation I'm going to listen to. I'm going to go back. I'm going to see if what they said was right. I'm going to clarify, because believe me, if one person didn't understand what I was talking about, there's going to be more than one person in the audience. So I want to clarify. So there's always a reason why someone's going to give you the evaluation they gave you. Find out if it's personal or something that actually can be corrected. So number 8, slightly push the level of uncomfortable statements. I knew that I was hoping I would make it to the semifinals and finals. I started practicing my speech and I mentioned the word God. And everybody, oh no, don't say that. And I thought, thank you for the advice. However, I'm going to say God. And here's why I did it. If everybody, which they did, told me not to say it, I would have left it out. Maybe I wouldn't have won. Maybe I would have. I don't know. But it's no longer my speech. It was everybody else's speech, because I was trying to please everybody. I was at the point where if I mentioned God, and I said it 8 times, that if I didn't win, I was okay with that. Why? Because it was on my terms. I did it the way I wanted to do it. So very important. Listen to the evaluations and why. However, stay true to yourself. That way, if you lose, you can't turn around and blame it on the audience. Here we go with number 9, I believe. Yes, the theory of 3. Oh my gosh. So I didn't know that this was a thing, but somebody explained it beautifully. They said, when you're going to say something, you say it once, and people like, oh, okay. And whether your audience remembers it or not, they don't know. If you say something similar twice, then they're saying, oh, okay. But if you say it 3 times, this is when the brain picks up a pattern. And so now it's reinforced in their mind because you've said it 3 times. Allow me to give you an example. In my semifinal speech in 2024, I'm talking about how the doctors had told me I wouldn't be able to do so many things, and all these different things about people telling me what I can't do. So in the middle of the speech, I said, you know what? I no longer listen when people tell me I can't do something. I said, my doctors told me I would never walk or leave my wheelchair. At that moment, I stand up and I push the chair out of the way, and I took 3 steps. Then I said, my adversaries say I can't shatter glass ceilings. Really? Watch me. The 3rd one. I said, my best friend tells me I can't cook. Really? No, she's right. I can't cook. So you see, that was the power of 3. My doctor said I couldn't walk. Adversaries. My friend says I can't cook. 3 different things. But at the end, I always said, really? Watch me. So with the theory of 3, if you're going to do something, if you put it in the pattern of 3, the brain and the mind remember that because of the pattern. So try to implement that whenever you can. If you're saying a certain phrase through your speech, if you say it 3 different times during the speech, it's going to stick. Number 10. This one is basically in every speech. And this is usually why you give a speech. It's a call to action from the audience. Well, what do you mean? Okay, so in my speech, semifinal, I said, look, don't make the same mistake I made. Don't wait 64 years to realize you can do anything with your life. And it's the way you say it. You see, I could have easily attacked my audiences. Hey, how many of you here have done things wrong all your life? But nobody wants to raise their hand to that. What do you say? I said, I've made mistakes. I'm telling you, please don't make the same mistakes I made. And the audience will receive that better than if you attack your audience. So if anything, it's a call to action. It's why you gave your speech. Make sure you give your audience that call to action. Join me, agree with me, believe me, whatever it is, the call to action. Number 11. Does this trophy make me look fat? I don't need to know the answer, but I'll tell you why it's important. Do you know that before you even utter one single word of your speech, as they announce your name and the title, see, announcing the title is the first chance you have at intriguing your audience. The second chance you get is when you walk on stage. Before you've even said one word, the audience and the judges are judging you. They're not supposed to, but they do. When you walked on stage, did you have good posture? Did you look confident? Did you smile? Did you brush your hair? Did you brush your teeth? Are your clothes ironed? Do your socks match? Are your shoes clean? All of that, and you haven't said one single word yet. Why are the judges judging you already? Because they're not AI judges. They're human judges. Are you sure? No, I don't do that. We all do it. Okay. I would love to say I don't do it, but we all do it. If you walk there and you're scared and you look afraid, nobody's going to want to listen to that. They want to see somebody that's confident. You know what? I got this. Smile on the face. I look good. Everything's clean. Teeth are clean. Hair's brushed. Let's do this. That right there lets the audience and the judges know, hey, maybe I should listen to her or to him. Got something important to say. So that was number 11. Number 12. Luisa, should I use props in my speech? I don't know. Should you? Here's my thing on props. I love props. I'd love to throw them in any time I can. Here's the mistake I made in 2019. I had all these nice little props, but I really hadn't practiced that much with them. So instead of taking the props out, using them in the speech, and then putting them away where they're out of sight, what did I do? I go throwing them all over the stage. Who does that? I can't even believe I got second place and I did all those mistakes. Oh my gosh. If you're going to use a prop, last year I had props in the back of my wheelchair. What did I do? I left them in the back of my wheelchair until I wanted the audience to see them. Why is that? Well, if you take them out, let's say I don't know, what do I have? A rubber band. So I'm not going to use this rubber band in the speech until maybe 2 minutes in. So why would I have it out now? Because right now you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're looking at the stupid rubber band. You're distracting your audience. So you know what? Don't take it out and then guess what? My friend gives me a rubber band. That's when you take it out. Now, once you're finished using it, put the prop away, but don't leave it out somewhere where they can see it. Again, it will be distracting. So, do you use props? Should I use props? My suggestion, only a suggestion, is that it's okay. Make it small. You don't need to make it large. You don't need to make it distract. Take it out when you need it in the speech and be sure to put it back. That was number 12. Number 13, probably the easiest we have now to do in a speech because of Zoom is present your speech to as many clubs as possible around the world, because you will get ideas from different people around the world, and it could save your speech. I remember I was practicing for a humor speech, and I had a lady from, oh my gosh, not the Philippines, Hong Kong. And she said, Luisa, I don't understand why you're saying that. Well, what do you mean you don't understand? Well, why did you say this? I said, well, because here in the valley. She said, oh, I'm not from the valley. I had no idea what you were talking about. Oh, okay. See, now that's a good evaluation. She told me why she didn't understand my speech. That's good. But please present to as many clubs as you can. Take the evaluation, but then again, remember, be true to yourself. But evaluation is great. Please don't ask your parents, don't ask your family, don't ask your friends, because they're all gonna go, oh, you did such a good job. No, that does not help you. Go to other clubs. You know what I actually did one time? I asked the person I was competing against to give me an evaluation of my speech. And boy, he let me have it. But I'm glad he did, because he didn't like me so much that he was going to tell me everything. And you know what? Everything he said was absolutely true. Just to let you know what happened in the end, I did win that contest. And now I think he regrets telling me everything that was wrong with my speech. But here we go. That was it. Number 14. Oh my gosh. This is the easiest thing to do. And I'm going to tell you why. Cut your speech down to 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 15 seconds, the most. But Luisa, I have so much to say. You know what? Instead of saying, I got in my car, drove down to the store. Instead of saying that, you said, I went and got groceries. Same thing. You didn't have to tell us that you got in the car. You didn't have to tell us that you drove. I went and got groceries. That's it. Whatever sentence it is, compact it down to make it exactly 6 minutes or 6:15. Well, Luisa, why? Last year, I don't know if any of you know, but out of the 8 people on the finals stage, 3 were disqualified. 3. I don't think that's ever happened. I think that's why I won. I was probably number 4, but then the top 3, they all got disqualified. So then, well, give it to Luisa, and here I am. So, if anything, keep your speech down to 6 minutes. You see the gentleman that was making me laugh, and I thought it was really a humor speech. He went and got the audience so involved that they laughed and laughed. And I'll tell you what, once you have your audience laughing, you can't tell them, hey, be quiet, because what I'm going to say is even funnier. No, you have to let them laugh. And really quick, when your audience laughs, it's what they call a bell curve. So you say your joke, the audience and everybody's clapping and they're laughing. And so the level gets this high. And the mistake a lot of people make is they will start their next sentence, the speaker, while the audience is way up here and they're laughing and they're applauding. Well, guess what? Nobody heard you. Nobody heard what you said. So the best thing to do is let your audience applaud and laugh, and the laughter's this high decibels. And then when it starts to get quiet, right before it gets almost completely quiet, that's when you start your next sentence or your next joke or your next anything. Why? Because you don't want to say it when your audience is way up here with the noise. They're not going to hear what you say. So please do that. Let me see. It was, where am I? Oh, yes, number 14. Okay, yes. So last year, 2 people disqualified for going over time because they didn't have their speech down to 6 minutes. They went over a minute? No. Half a minute? No. 15 seconds? No. They went over by 3 seconds. Can you imagine making it to the final stage, working 9 months on something, getting there, and then because you went over 3 seconds, you're disqualified. Along with that, a lady who had only been in Toastmasters, I think 2 years, out of Chicago, got up there. She's on the final stage. She gets all the audience clapping and cheering. We're all singing the song. We will rock you. Everybody was involved. Her timing was perfect. She walked off the stage. Guess what she didn't do? She didn't cite her source. See, one of the rules in the rule book, which I recommend everybody, if you're competing, please read it, because the rule that she broke was after you cite a song or a poem or a verse or a saying, if I get up on stage and say, I have a dream, I have to mention Martin Luther King. If I sing a song, I have to say, song sung by Queen or Freddie Mercury or Brian May or something. You have to acknowledge your source. If you don't, only the judges or the other contestants can contest your speech. And that's what happened to her. I was sitting right next to her. As she was walking off stage, she came and sat right next to me. And I wanted to say something because I was afraid, since she hadn't cited her source, that she was going to get disqualified. And the next speaker spoke. And as they were walking off stage, two gentlemen came out of the side doors, dressed in suits. They went up to her and they said, we need to speak to you. And I knew what they were going to tell her. They were going to tell her she had been disqualified. And when she came back into the room, it looked like, it was just a bad day for her, and I felt so bad. So please, please cite your source, keep your speech down to 6 minutes, and read the rule book because it changes every year. So that was number 14. Number 15. I'm going to be very delicate about this because there are things that we used to learn in the legacy program that I think, I don't know if they talk about them that much or not in Pathways, but it's your hand gestures, your eye contact, anything that's going to give the audience a clue other than what you're saying needs to be used. But here's the most important thing. For me, if I cannot understand you, you've lost me. So your diction, enunciation, pronunciation. Now, here's the thing. We are now global. Okay, global, which means we have people all around the world, and English is not their first language. English is my first language. However, when I first started competing, I realized I wasn't pronouncing everything correctly. And that's because English is my first language. You know what I did was I went to my iPhone, and I went to voice dictation. I said, oh, I need to go to the store for groceries. And I looked to see what it had transcribed. And it said, I need to go to the store for, F-U-R. I didn't say fur. Yes, you did, Luisa. The word is for, not fur. So now when I say for, I tried to say it correctly, for. So if you might think you have a problem with enunciation, pronunciation, diction, grab a phone, grab anything and have it transcribed and see what it transcribes to. I hate to say this, and I bet nobody's ever said it. I'm going to be your worst champion, okay? I'm already telling you why. You know why? Because I still say wanna instead of want to, or I say gonna instead of going to. So I'm already telling you, okay, you don't have to come up to me at the conference next year and say, Lisa, you know that one speech you said gonna, wanna. Yes, I know. I'm already telling you, I'm trying to get better. So if anything, work on diction, enunciation, and pronunciation. Okay, very good. Let me see. That leaves us to number 16. Oh, real quick. Sorry. Okay, my time is almost up. Real quick. If you are on stage and if you make a mistake, what are you going to do? Nothing. You're not going to shake your head. You're not going to say, oh, sorry. You're not going to, oh, I shouldn't have said that. wait, no, I didn't mean to say that. No, no, you're not going to say anything. You're not going to do anything. Did you know I made 3 mistakes last year on stage? But I didn't let my audience know, so nobody knew. Quick story, and I'm going to give you a visual. I'm 10 years old. I'm in ballet class, okay? That's the visual. My mom has me in ballet. Guess what? There's 10 of us in a row. We're doing a recital. Okay, I'm the tallest one, so I'm in the middle. We're all 10 of us supposed to do a Sinead turn to the right. Luisa messes up and does a Sinead turn to the left. So now I'm all by myself, and all the other girls are over there. My mom's best friend sitting with her in the audience goes, wow, Luisa has a solo? And my mom knew I didn't have a solo. And what did I do? When I realized I made a mistake and I saw everybody over there and I was in the wrong spot, I put my head down and I did this. What did I do? I just told the entire audience I had made a mistake. Had I not done that, maybe everybody except my mom would have thought, Luisa had a solo. I blew it. So if you ever make a mistake, don't ever admit it to your audience. Just keep going. So number 16 is, I just wasted all your time. You don't need to know any of these things. Really? All you have to do is 4 things, and I guarantee you'll win. You want to know what those 4 things are? You need to say the right thing at the right time on the right day to the right judges. Luisa, how do I do that? I have no idea. I don't know. I still don't know how I won. I'm serious. I mean, you know what? Let me give you an example. You're at home, you're watching a contest. It's the Miss Universe pageant, okay? You're like, oh my goodness. Oh, Miss Costa Rica, she's going to win for Brazil. Wait, what? Why did she win? Exactly. And do you know why different people win? Because we don't have AI judges. These judges are human. So the worst thing we do that I did the first time is when you lose a contest, when you didn't get that job, when your relationship didn't work out, you know the mistake we make? We take it personally. Why? Let me tell you this. If you know you're going to walk into the store and you're looking for shoes and you see tons of shoes and you go, oh, I like these. You took the black ones. Did the brown ones do anything wrong? No. Is it still a shoe? Yes. Still the same price? Yes. It was just not what I was looking for. I chose the black ones. The brown ones would have done exactly the same thing. And that's just it. When you're in a contest and you lose, don't think, oh my gosh, they didn't like. No, no. You just didn't say the right thing at the right time on the right day to the right judges. That's it. Don't take it personally. Get back up. And here's the number 17 is, what do when you do all the things and you still lose? You do what Luisa did. You cry for a little bit, not too long. You can cry. It's an emotion. No problem. You get upset, you get mad, you get angry, go through all the phases, but then pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. Okay? Keep trying, because believe me, exactly what Jessica said, if a disabled senior citizen, minority, female can win, anybody can win. Trust me. Now, number 18, you say everything perfect, you've dusted yourself off, you're ready to go again. Number 18 is, go back to number 1. Why are you doing this? What is your purpose? I've been trying to make my mother proud because I wanted to be the excellent speaker that she was. And I think I hope I've done that. So just ask yourself why. And good luck. And I hope these steps help you get to where you want to be. Back to you, Jessica.
We enjoy all the love that everyone's sending you on the screen, Luisa. Yeah. I'm sure she was proud when you were 11. Yeah. No? I don't know.
She was worried. She was worried.
She's weird.
I was a handful. I was a handful, but yes, thank you.
Well, no one becomes the world champion without being a little bit of a handful and being pretty determined and having a strong driving force, right? So whoever people are trying, I don't know what your reason is for wanting to win a speech competition, people, but being clear about it is helpful because it helps you run past the failure line. The last speech I saw you give was one of the most amazing speeches I've ever heard online. It was in June. I think it was in India. And you mentioned about you lost a certain amount of speeches to win. You've lost 55 times more than you've actually won. What was that quote? Or
40?
40. You've lost 40 times
40 speeches.
once, I guess, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
perception and humor and humility and beauty and great insider tips from a world champion. We do have 6 minutes left. If you raise your hand, people, we will answer. I will not. I have no idea what to say. Luisa will answer your question. Let's see. Anyone? If 17 wasn't enough. If 17 There's someone German out there going like, I want the 19. You missed
Oh,
it.
there you go. There you go. And it'll be less for other people. I know it. I know it.
Let's see, my heart. Okay, let's see. Self and Mind. That was a very sweet name for your mother. Okay, go for it.
Hi, my name is Tiago. Sorry, this is an old name from my Zoom. I have a question about authenticity. I've
Yes.
been falling in love with and passionate about public speaking. I'm very new with this, and I felt that I needed to understand better communication skills. So what would you suggest me for a beginner, a book or something that I can follow these boxes to fit in, to understand how can I structure my own story?
Okay, that's a great question. Unfortunately, I don't have a book you could read or something that would help you. However, I will tell you this, the more honest and raw and vulnerable you make yourself to the audience, the more they are going to accept you. You see, we've gone from speeches where people thought they had to act or be dramatic or whatever it is. To me, I see the trend now where we are going to speeches are more conversational, which means it sounds like right now, I don't know if I hope I didn't sound like I was giving this speech. I hope I sounded like I was, hey, you know what? Here's some things that I learned. I hope you can learn from them too. So if anything, just try to relax. Whatever you're going to speak about, make sure that you're knowledgeable in it and just try to have a conversation with the audience. And I think once you start doing that, you start bonding with the audience, you start communicating, they start listening, they want to hear. And that's it. That it's more authenticity than, oh, is there a book or who should I emulate or who should I whatever. That's my suggestion. Now, I'm sure there are tons of books out there. In fact, I'm sure if you ask people in your Toastmasters group, who should I watch? Who should I listen to? What should I read? They will all have great, great suggestions. For me, be authentic, be natural, conversational, and that's your first start. Good luck, Mito. I mean, good luck.
Thank you. Tiago is Tiago. Can I ask one thing very quick? It's okay?
Yes.
I would, there's just 2 other people with their hands up, if you don't mind.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Miriam.
Hi. So a question, what changed after you won the international contest?
I'm sorry, what was the questions?
What changed after
what changed?
Yes, after you won.
One of the biggest things that changed was I have no free time. I thought I didn't know what the rules were for a champion. And although some had suggested that I not do anything where at least 100 people, we're going to be in a Zoom. I've gone to club meetings and they're like, don't waste your time on club meetings. And I'm thinking, I've worked 13 years for this. You know, you are part of my dream. This is what I've wanted to do all my life. So if I show up to a Zoom meeting and there's 8 people, guess what? There's 9 of us having a good time. So what's changed? I find I have less time now. In fact, I thought, okay, Sabi won first place. Great. I'm going to be able to relax, take it easy. Not that many, what do you call it, people wanting to have me speak at their contest. No, it's more now. I'm like, what is going on? So if one thing, and you know what, I'll get up at 3 in the morning. If I need to speak to you and your meeting starts at my 3 in the morning, I'm there. I mean, this is what I've dreamed about. This is what I wanted. So yes, less time. I feel I have less time.
Hey, Luisa, it's Teresa. I've seen you speak a couple times, and one of the things that I love about your story is timing. You had mentioned that timing, like if you had won earlier, you wouldn't have had the time to do all this. And I think that's a good reminder for everybody else about the timing. And could you mention that? Because I just love that story.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, another saying that I go by wholeheartedly is, what is meant for you will never miss you. If you're meant to win at a certain point in your life, you will win. It was perfect for me. I wanted to win back in 1990. I didn't. In fact, my mother told me, you know, I had forgotten my speech on stage. So I walked off because I had forgotten my speech. And my mother said, do you know why you lost? And I said, yes, Mom, because I forgot my speech. She said, no, you didn't win because somebody else needed it more than you. And I didn't understand what she meant. But then 25 years later, I'm on stage, on the world stage, giving my speech. My life partner, my wife of 24 years, had passed away. My mom, 6 weeks before the contest, passed away. I haven't walked in 4 years. I am going through the worst time of my life, and I thank Toastmasters for getting me through it. But at the end, I win. And it came to my mind what my mother had said. You see, I thought Percy was going to win. And so I went and gave a speech at his club, and I said, okay, Percy didn't win because somebody else needed it more than he did. And that's when it all made sense. So everything in its time, what's meant for you will never miss you. I hope that's the story you were talking about.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a beautiful story to finish off on, and a motivational speech for all of us. Thank you very much, Luisa. Luisa is very generous with her time, so you can catch her at many other events if you would like to follow her and learn from her and stalk her. I highly suggest you do. Let's get some emoticons, some hearts, some loves to Luisa to give her appreciation, and thank you for coming to Winners Academy. Thank you, Isidro, for putting this together. Thank you for inviting us all. Thank you for making our district one of the most fabulous districts that I've ever been to.
Yes.
Everyone
Yes.
for coming.
So,
Oh, I don't know if I can give a shout out to the gentleman. He's got the red cap on backwards. I see
Okay.
you. I see you. I remember you.
Snow
Hello, hello.
from Morocco.
Nelson from Morocco, yes.
Well,
Excellent.
I would like to thank Luisa. Luisa, I admire you not only as a speaker, as a human being,
Mm.
as a human being. And we will talk about that. Jessica, thank you. And everybody, I just wanted to tell you that Winners Academy is a series of workshops to help you to become a better speaker. And we will have more surprises to come. So stay tuned.
Thank you. Thank you, Isidro, Jessica, for everything.
Thank
Thank you,
you
Luisa.
so much.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Lisa.
Good night.
See
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Love you guys.